The words you speak are not small. They are contracts written in the invisible. Every sentence you utter is an agreement that heaven instantly confirms. Say you are broke and lack will come running. Say you are blessed. Abundance will rush in. The universe is not waiting for your struggle. It is waiting for your command. Your tongue is the pen that writes tomorrow's reality. Every complaint is a signature of defeat. Every affirmation a signature of victory. You are never alone when you speak. Seen powers echo your words with a mighty. Yes, life has not denied you. It has only repeated what you agreed to. Change your words, you will change your world. For the law is unbreakable when you speak it. Heaven confirms it. Your tongue is a contract. Every word you speak signs an agreement with heaven or with fear. Most people do not realize that when they open their mouth, they are entering into spiritual agreements that will govern their lives. Words are not sounds that fade into the air. They are living forces that create the conditions you walk in tomorrow. When you say, I can't do it, you have signed an agreement with limitation. When you declare, I will never have enough, you have entered into a contract with lack. But when you boldly affirm, I am divinely supplied, abundantly provided for, you have signed heaven's contract for wealth. The law does not hesitate. The law does not argue. The law only confirms what your tongue declares. In America, people know the power of a signature. One stroke of a pen can buy a house, close a deal, or release a paycheck. That is why I tell you that your tongue is more powerful than ink. When you speak, you place your signature on the invisible documents of your life. Imagine standing at the counter of a bank. The teller slides you a form. If you sign the line that says decline, no money moves. If you sign the line that says accept, the funds are released. Every day your words are choosing which line you are signing. If you say I am always broke, you just signed the decline line. But when you say money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, you sign the accept line and the universe releases the supply. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of spiritual agreement. Heaven does not create for you. It confirms what you choose. And yet, how many walk around with contracts of fear hanging over their heads? They say, this sickness runs in my family. And they sign an agreement with illness. They say, the economy is bad. Nobody succeeds right now. And they sign an agreement with failure. Do you see their tongue has written the script of their tomorrow? The universe obeys, but you are not powerless. The same tongue that cursed can bless. The same tongue that bound can free. New word of faith can cancel years of negative agreements. A man who has spoken defeat all his life can wake up one morning and boldly declare, I walk in victory now. And in that moment, he tears up the old contract and heaven confirms the new one. The question is not whether the law works. The question is, what are you agreeing to? Every complaint, every excuse, every word of doubt is a binding signature. And every affirmation, every word of faith, every declaration of truth is a binding signature as well. The law does not care who you are or where you stand, only cares what you speak. That is why Jesus said, by your words, you are justified, and by your words you are condemned. In America, people fight so hard for contracts, for written guarantees, for insurance, for security. They forget the greatest insurance they already hold. The power of their spoken word. The unseen world is your notary, and the moment your tongue speaks, the paper is sealed. So I ask you, what will you allow your tongue to sign today? If you want health, speak health, and heaven will confirm. If you want prosperity, speak prosperity, and heaven will confirm. If you want peace, speak peace, and heaven will confirm. Do not waste your words on fear. For fear writes contracts you do not want to live under. Every time you open your mouth, know this. You are either signing with fear or signing with faith. Choose carefully. Tongue is the pen of your destiny. When you understand this truth, your entire life changes. Is not a puppeteer pulling strings, deciding randomly who gets wealth, and who gets poverty, who gets joy, and who gets sorrow. Heaven is a mirror, a great confirmer, responding to the agreements you make with your tongue. People often say, if God wanted me to be rich, I would be. Or, if it's meant to be, will happen. But the law of spiritual agreement does not work that way. The law waits quietly, patiently until you speak. The moment you declare, heaven begins to echo your word. If you speak lack, it nods and says, so be it. If you speak abundance, nods and says, so be it. If you speak health, it nods and says, so be it. Do you see how powerful that makes you? You are not a victim of chance. You are a co-creator with the divine, and your weapon, your instrument, your signature is your word. In America, we love the idea of freedom, choice, and independence. Every citizen is told your vote counts. And truly in the spiritual realm, your vote is your word. Every time you speak, you cast your ballot. Will you vote for fear or for faith? You vote for sickness or for health? Will you vote for poverty or for prosperity? The universe tells no lies. It takes every ballot and confirms it with results. Is why some live in cycles of defeat. They keep casting the same vote with their tongue. And wondering why the outcome never changes does not override your ballot. It only counts what you submit. Think of it like a courtroom. You stand before the judge of life. He does not force a verdict. He listens. He waits. Then he confirms your plea. If you say, "I will never make it," the gavel comes down and the judgment is confirmed. If you say, "I am divinely guided and successful," the gavel comes down and that judgment is confirmed. The court of heaven is always in session. Your tongue is always making its case. You are not being punished. You are being confirmed. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand." She knew that you hold the power to create or destroy with your tongue. Imagine walking into a restaurant. You are handed a menu and you choose what to eat. The waiter does not argue with you. He simply takes your order and delivers it. Is the same. Your words are your order and the universe is the waiter. Yet how many sit at the table of life ordering bitterness, ordering lack, ordering failure, without realizing they could order abundance, joy, and success? If you sit in a diner and say, "Bring me burnt toast and cold coffee," they will bring you exactly that. But if you say, "Bring me steak and fresh fruit," that is what will arrive. Life never questions your order. It only confirms it. Americans look at their history. They see the power of declaration. The Declaration of Independence was not simply ink on paper. It was a spiritual agreement that shaped a nation. Words birthed freedom and heaven confirmed them. The same principle works in your personal life. The moment you declare freedom from debt, freedom from fear, freedom from sickness, heaven begins to align events, people, and circumstances to confirm that declaration. But the opposite is also true. If you keep declaring bondage, heaven confirms that too. The truth is, heaven is impartial. It does not play favorites. Simply says yes to your dominant word. That should not frighten you. It should empower you. Because if you don't like what you've been living, you can change the agreement today. You can tear up old contracts and write new ones with your tongue. You can cast a new ballot, place a new order, and make a new plea in the courtroom of life. Heaven is ready to confirm, but it will only confirm what you choose. This flows directly from what I just revealed to you. That heaven does not choose for you, it only confirms what you choose. If every word is an agreement, then understand this. Even the words you think are small, casual, careless are being recorded in the great law. Every idle word creates, every complaint commands. You may laugh when you say, "I'm so broke it's funny," but the law does not laugh, it confirms. You may casually sigh, "I'm always tired," but the law does not sigh. It stamps that contract and sets it in motion. Words are never empty. Words are always alive, shaping, building, tearing down, or lifting up. What you dismiss as just talking is heaven's instruction sheet for your tomorrow. Is why so many in America live lives they never consciously chose. They think circumstances chose for them, but in reality their own idle words did the choosing. They declared they could never afford a house and years later they still rent. They declared that love never works out for them, and their relationships continue to fail. They complained about never catching a break, and the law, impartial and exact, brought them more of the same. The universe is not ignoring them. It is obeying them. Their complaints were not harmless venting. Their complaints were binding commands. Florence Scovel Shinn said cannot escape from himself or from the law of his own spoken word. This truth must wake you up. Your life is a living echo of your own speech. If you tell a child, "You're just like your father," you'll never be successful. Those words do not vanish. They take root and heaven confirms them, producing in that child what was spoken. If you stand in your office and complain, "This company never promotes me," the law begins closing doors you might not even see. And if you constantly declare, "I always get sick during winter," then winter becomes your season of contracts with illness. Here is where the law becomes your ally instead of your enemy. If every idle word creates, every intentional word can create even more powerfully. If every complaint commands, then every praise commands double. You don't need to beg God for a breakthrough. You need to stop commanding your bondage and begin commanding your blessing. Imagine someone standing at a drive-through window. If they order junk food day after day, their health will show it. The moment they change their order, the window delivers something new. Life is the same. If you've been ordering defeat with your complaints, change your order. Begin to say, "Everything works out for me. Money finds me wherever I go. I am filled with energy and divine health." Watch how quickly the kitchen of heaven prepares your new meal. This takes us closer to the next key. That one declaration of faith can cancel 1,000 agreements of fear. This is why you should never despair over your past words. Yes, they created the circumstances you see now. you hold the eraser in your mouth. Just as easily as you bound yourself with idle words, you can free yourself with words of truth. The law does not cling to your old mistakes. It simply confirms what is active today. The moment you replace a complaint with an affirmation, you tear up the old contract and sign a new one. The moment you silence idle words and choose intentional speech, you begin reshaping your entire world. This truth is the rescue you have been waiting for. After hearing how every idle word creates and every complaint commands, you might feel heavy thinking of all the careless contracts you have signed with your tongue over the years. But listen closely. You are not trapped by your past words. One declaration of faith can cancel 1,000 agreements of fear. The law of spiritual agreement is not cruel. It is merciful, immediate, and alive. The moment you choose faith, the moment you release truth from your tongue, the atmosphere shifts. The universe tears up the old files and stamps the new order. May have written your yesterday, but faith can write your today and your tomorrow. Think of it like this in America. If someone files for bankruptcy, their old debts are legally erased. The past contracts are null and void. They are given a new beginning. Spiritually, your declaration of faith does the same thing. No matter how many times you said, "I'll never succeed," one powerful affirmation of faith, "I am divinely guided into success now," erases the old agreements and establishes the new. If you spent years saying, "I'm always sick," one bold statement, "I am healthy, whole, and strong in divine life," rises higher and cancels the past. The law does not count numbers, it counts authority. Has no authority in the presence of truth. Florence Scovel Shinn said that faith is fearless. It does not beg, it does not waver, it speaks and expects. That is why one faith-filled word is stronger than 1,000 words of doubt. Doubt whispers, faith declares. Doubt trembles, but faith commands. Picture a dark room filled with shadows. You could spend hours chasing each shadow. The moment you light a single candle, all of them scatter. That candle is your declaration of faith. You don't need to chase down every fearful contract you ever signed. You only need to speak the truth boldly now. Light dissolves the darkness. And let me refresh you here, because I don't want you to feel the weight of correction alone. I want you to feel the fire of possibility. Pause for a moment and breathe. Ask yourself, what one area of my life have I been filling with fear? Is it money? Is it health? Is it relationships? Now take that area and speak the opposite with faith. If money has been your fear, declare, "I agree with abundance now. Unexpected money flows to me." If health has been your fear, declare, "I agree with divine healing now. Every cell in my body radiates life." If love has been your fear, declare, "I agree with perfect love now. I am surrounded by loyaltiness and joy." Do you feel that shift? That is the power of one declaration of faith. It lifts the spirit. It moves the unseen. It cancels years of contracts with fear. America is filled with people who spend years fighting battles they could end with a single word. They fight debt with more debt. They fight sickness with endless worry. They fight loneliness with compromise. But you were never meant to fight fear with fear. You were meant to speak faith and let the law confirm it. Do not underestimate how quickly things can change. A woman who has struggled for years can declare, "I am free now," and within days opportunities open. Who has carried sickness can declare, "I am whole," and within weeks his body aligns. This is not fantasy, it is law. The law always works when you dare to use it. This key flows naturally from the truth we just uncovered. That one declaration of faith can cancel 1,000 agreements of fear. Because when you replace fear with faith, the most powerful accelerators you can add are gratitude and possibility. Gratitude is not just a polite thank you. It is a spiritual magnet. Possibility is not just daydreaming. It is a bridge into the unseen. Together they attract an instant yes from heaven. The universe bends faster when your words carry the vibration of thankfulness and expectancy. You are no longer begging for something to come. You are praising as though it is already here, imagining as though it has already arrived. That is the language heaven loves to confirm. Think about it. In America, someone applies for a job. The employer doesn't want a candidate who acts defeated or doubtful. Wants someone who shows up with confidence, expectancy, and gratitude for the opportunity. Life works the same way. You show up to the unseen with words of defeat. "Nothing ever works for me. Probably fail again." Heaven confirms that attitude with delay and closed doors. But when you arrive in faith, saying, "I am so thankful that doors are already opening. I am so thankful that success is chasing me," the law responds immediately, coining back, "Yes, so be it." Gratitude speeds the answer, because gratitude is proof you believe it's already done. Scovel Shinn often taught that when you thank before you see, you are standing in faith. Gratitude is the evidence that you trust the law to deliver. And when you mix gratitude with possibility, your vision expands. Most people shut down their blessings because they cannot imagine something bigger. They speak small, they think small, so heaven confirms small. But possibility opens the gate. When you dare to say, what if I could double my income? If I could live debt-free, what if I could have a marriage filled with joy? That spark of possibility releases divine creativity. The unseen world hears your openness and rushes to fill it. Let me remind you with a refresher here, so your spirit stays awake for a moment, and ask yourself, what are you grateful for right now? Say it aloud. I am grateful for the breath in my lungs. Grateful for the roof over my head. I am grateful for the opportunities that are finding me. Do you feel how your energy rises? You'd lifts you out of fear's vibration and plants you in faith's vibration. Now add possibility. Say I am grateful for what I have and I am open to even more. I am grateful for today's supply. I welcome greater abundance tomorrow. This is how you attract an instant. Was gratitude grounds you in faith. Possibility stretches you into more. In America, businesses thrive on possibility. Entrepreneurs succeed because they dare to say, what if we try this? What if we build that? And investors pour money into those who show gratitude for what is working while daring to imagine more. The same principle is spiritual. The person who keeps thanking and keeps imagining always rises. Heaven cannot resist a grateful open heart. The law confirms what you expect, and gratitude plus possibility makes your expectation undeniable. And understand this too cancels delay. Many people wonder why their affirmations feel slow, why their prayers feel unanswered. The missing key is often gratitude. If you are constantly saying, why hasn't it happened yet? You are sending out doubt. And heaven confirms doubt with waiting. But if you say thank you, it's already on the way. Thank you is unfolding now. You shift timelines. Gratitude proves you believe. Possibility proves you are ready. And faith seals the contract. Together they make heavens, yes, instant. Life is not a lottery ticket where fate randomly decides who wins and who loses. Is law, and law does not gamble. What you see in your life today is not the result of chance. It is the result of choice. And the choice is not buried in some secret ritual or hidden knowledge. It is revealed every time you open your mouth. Your tongue is the place where destiny is decided. The words you speak are your daily votes for the life you will live, is not tossing dice. Heaven is listening. Every I can't is a choice and heaven confirms it. Every I will is a choice, confirms it. Every I am blessed, I am guided, I am supplied is a choice and heaven confirms it. Florence Scovel Shinn declared that man's word is his wand, and she was right. The wand of creation is not locked in some castle tower. It is in your mouth. So many keep waving it for their destruction instead of their deliverance. They speak chance instead of choice. They say, if I'm lucky, I'll get that job. But heaven does not work by luck. It works by law. They say maybe I'll never get out of debt. That's just life. But that is not life. That is an agreement they just signed. The law does not pity. It does not argue. It confirms, and because their choice was despair, despair was delivered. Do not be fooled by appearances. What looks like chance is always the result of repeated choice. If you look at someone thriving financially in America, people might call them lucky. Behind that luck are words they spoke daily. Words of vision, words of gratitude, words of increase. If you look at someone healed from what seemed incurable, people might call it a miracle that just happened. But behind that happening was a choice. They kept declaring life, health, wholeness until heaven confirmed it. Nothing just happens. Everything is choice confirmed. Let me refresh you right here so your spirit stays alive in this truth. Think of one area of your life you've been blaming on chance. Maybe it's your career, maybe your health, maybe your relationships. Now stop and speak this aloud. This is not chance, this is my choice. Today I choose abundance. I choose health. Today I choose love. Today I choose victory. Feel that shift you just felt is the law beginning to move. Your complaint was writing chance, but your declaration is writing choice and does not wait years to listen. It listens now and it confirms now. Americans live by choices every day. What to eat, where to work, to vote. We know that choices shape our nation. But we forget that choices also shape our inner world. Words are the ballot you cast into the unseen. You may not see the results in the same hour, but the count is always accurate. Speak defeat long enough and the results show up. Speak victory long enough and the results show up. And here is the glorious thing. You can change your vote at any moment. You can decide that the ballots of fear and doubt no longer count. You can start filling heaven's box with declarations of faith, and heaven will honor every one of them. Do not call your life random. Call it fate. Call it what it is, your choice, and choose wisely. Choose words that build, not words that break. Choose words that align with heaven's abundance, not fear shortage. Choose words that carry faith, gratitude, and vision. The law has never failed and never will. Heaven will always confirm your choice. The question is, what will you choose today? I tell you plainly because I speak from the authority of truth. Stop signing contracts with lack. Every time you say I can't afford it, you are binding yourself to poverty with your own hand. Every time you say there is never enough, you are putting your signature on shortage. I, Florence Scovel Shinn, say to you is not your portion, unless you agree to it. You were never meant to live under the bondage of not enough. You were meant to live in the wide open supply of God's abundance. The law of spiritual agreement has no bias. It will honor lack if you keep signing with it. It will honor abundance if you dare to sign a new contract. Your tongue is the pen and your world is the paper of how this nation, America, rever contracts. A man will not buy a home without signing one. A woman will not start a business without signing one. A signature has power because it binds two parties together. Yet you every day are binding yourself either to lack or to abundance with the contracts of your words, and most do not even realize it. They say, I always struggle with money, and heaven stamps it confirmed. They sigh, it's too hard to get ahead, and the law, ever obedient, signs the seal. They wonder why they keep circling in the same desert of lack, not knowing their own tongue is the reason. But the moment you stop signing those contracts, the desert begins to bloom up those agreements of lack with your declarations of truth. Say, I agree with wealth now. I agree with prosperity now. Agree with divine provision now. And heaven, which has been waiting, stamps those words with an immediate yes. Understand this. Abundance has always been available. It has not been withholding from you. It has been waiting for your agreement. Was never your destiny. It was only your contract. Let me give you a refresher here. So the fire of this truth burns deep. Pause now. Ask yourself, how many times have I signed with lack this very week? Did I say, I don't have enough for that bill? Did I say, I'll never get ahead? Did I tell my children money doesn't grow on trees? Every one of those words was ink on a contract. Listen, those contracts can be torn up today. Right now, speak this with me. I stopped signing with lack. I sign with abundance. Stop agreeing with shortage. I agree with overflow. I stop declaring not enough. I declare more than enough. Do you feel the shift? Is the sound of the law responding to your new agreement? Abundance is not greed. It is your divine birthright. You walk in abundance. You are free to give, free to serve, free to create. Lack binds, but abundance releases. Lack shuts doors, abundance opens them. Stop telling stories of shortage as if they are your identity. Stop rehearsing fear as if it is your future. You do not owe loyalty to lack. Your loyalty belongs to abundance because abundance belongs to God and God belongs to you. Every word is a signature. From this day forward, choose to sign the contracts that lift you higher. The law has no power to deny you. It only has power to confirm you. Tear up the old and begin writing the new. Stop signing contracts with lack and boldly, joyfully, unashamedly start signing contracts with abundance. For the moment you do, heaven will rise to confirm it. You speak truth with conviction. The invisible becomes visible. Words without conviction are whispers in the wind. Words spoken in faith shake the unseen and bring substance into form. Law of spiritual agreement does not respond to half-hearted speech. It responds to the word that burns with certainty. Trembling maybe produces nothing, but a bold I am produces everything. Heaven is waiting for the sound of conviction because conviction is proof you believe. Do you not see how life mirrors this truth everywhere? In America, a leader speaks with conviction, people follow. When a lawyer stands in court and delivers their case with conviction, the jury listens. An entrepreneur presents an idea with conviction. Investors release their money. Conviction moves men. And if conviction moves men, much more does it move heaven. The invisible realm listens for the voice of faith, and the moment it hears it, form begins to take shape. A house that never existed. A business that never existed. Healing that seemed impossible. All rise up and manifest when conviction speaks. This is why Jesus said, when you pray, believe that you have received it, and it shall be yours. He was not calling you to mumble empty words. He was commanding you to speak with such certainty that the thing already exists in your spirit. The law responds to that level of faith. The law never fails. I have seen people cancel years of sickness, years of poverty. With one blazing word of conviction, stood and declared, I am whole. I am rich. I am free. And because they spoke it as truth, not as a wish, the invisible began to clothe itself in reality. Let me refresh your soul here. So you stay alive in this power. Pause and breathe. Now choose one truth that you want heaven to confirm. Say it aloud, not timidly but boldly with conviction. I am provided for, overflowing in abundance. I am guided perfectly every day. Feel the weight of those words as they leave your tongue. Do not hope they are true. Know they are true. Do not ask if they will happen. Declare that they are happening now. That is, conviction is the fire that draws the unseen into sight. Think of the farmer. He does not plant a seed and wonder if it will grow. Plants with conviction, knowing the soil and the law of nature will do their part. In the same way, plant your words with conviction. Say, my harvest is coming, and expect the ground to yield. Say, my breakthrough is here, and expect doors to open. Say, my health is restored, and expect your body to align. The soil of the unseen cannot resist a seed planted in conviction. Scattering words of doubt like seeds on rocky ground. Stop saying, I'll try. Maybe it will work. Those are contracts signed with weakness. Instead, speak like one who knows the laws behind you. Because it is. Speak like one who understands that God Himself breathes on every word of truth you release. You are not begging the unseen. You are commanding it. You are not wishing. You are creating. That invisible is listening, waiting, ready. And the moment you speak with conviction, it must obey. I tell you, nothing is withheld from the one who speaks with faith on their tongue and conviction in their heart. The invisible cannot remain hidden. It must put on form and walk into your life. So speak boldly, speak firmly, speak truth with the full authority that heaven gave you. The law is exact and unwavering. When you speak truth with conviction, the invisible becomes visible. This is the final seal of the law. Florence Scovel Shinn. Speak it to you as plainly as it can be spoken. You speak it, heaven confirms it always. There is no maybe in this law. There is no sometimes. There is no exception. The words you send out are never lost. They are never ignored. The moment they leave your lips, they travel into the invisible, and the great machinery of spirit moves to confirm them. If you speak fear is confirmed. If you speak lack, lack is confirmed. If you speak doubt, but if you speak life, life is confirmed. If you speak wealth, wealth is confirmed. If you speak peace, peace is confirmed. The law does not fail. It delivers. Understand how powerful this makes you. You are not at the mercy of the economy, not at the mercy of politics, not at the mercy of your past. You are at the mercy of your own words. And mercy it is because you can change them at any moment. You can stop speaking curses and begin speaking blessings. You can stop declaring fear and begin declaring faith. You can stop writing contracts with defeat and begin writing contracts with victory. Heaven is not against you. Heaven is waiting for you. The moment you align your tongue with truth, the universe echoes back, yes, it is. Think of America itself built on a declaration, not on fear, not on chance, on bold words written and spoken with conviction, will hold these truths to be self-evident. And heaven confirmed it. Nations are birthed by declarations. Futures are shaped by declarations. Your life too will be rebuilt by the declarations of your tongue. What you dare to speak with faith and conviction, heaven dares to confirm in your world. Me refresh your heart one last time before I leave you with the charge of truth. Right now your hand on your chest and speak aloud. I speak life and heaven confirms it. I speak abundance and heaven confirms it. Speak peace and heaven confirms it. I speak victory and heaven confirms it. Do you feel that is not just sound, that is law in motion, that is creation responding to its master? So I end with this charge. Never again speak as though your words are empty. Never again toss out sentences like stones in the dark. Your words are contracts. Your words are ballots. Your words are orders to the unseen. Use them like the sacred keys they are. For the law will never fail you. The universe will never betray you. From this day forward, remember the unbreakable truth, you speak it. Heaven confirms it always. Because of that you are never powerless. You are never without supply. You are never without hope. Speak truth. Speak boldly. Speak faithfully and watch as the invisible bends, breaks open, and becomes your reality.